Have you ever been really excited to bring home a watermelon from the store only to cut it open and be disappointed? Well, I'm here to show you some steps that will make sure that you never have to do that again. Many people experience the same issue. Just when you think you have a good watermelon, you bring it home to only be disappointed. So last summer I said enough was enough, and I decided to do some research. I found some really simple steps that helped me to pick out a good watermelon. I then used those steps to pick out one that I brought to a family event, and everyone was impressed. By doing these steps and paying a little bit of attention to detail in the store, you will be able to distinguish a good watermelon from a bad one. First, you're going to want to compare the weights of the melon. So when you go to the store, go to the bin of watermelon and pick up a couple and just weigh them to pick out which one is the heaviest. Watermelon is made of 98% water, so the heavier it is, the more water there is in it, meaning that it is going to be your most ripe melon. Next, you'll want to pick a melon that has a bright green, dull color to it. You don't want a melon that is too dark or too pale, but you also don't. So the brightest, greenest melon is going to be your best melon. And according to Natural Ways YouTube video, the rind should be dull. The shinier it is, the less ripe it is. So you want to make sure that it has a dull color or dull nature to it as well. Next, you'll want to make sure that there's a creamy spot on it, like this. This is called the field spot, and this is where the melon laid on the ground while it was growing. According to the food channels, Don Bryan, the darker the spot, the better. You don't want a super light spot because that signifies that it is not ripe enough to eat yet. Finally, you're going to want to give the melon a little bit of a knock. This is just testing the contents inside of the melon. You'll want to make sure it's firm, and that it also gives a hollow sound when you knock it. This just signifies that it is ripe and ready to be eaten. While you do this, you also want to make sure there's no cuts or bruises, as this would show that there has been damage to the melon, and it's probably not your best melon that you want to bring home to your family to eat. So with all this new information, I hope that you will be able to pick out a good melon as well. Remember to compare the weight, check for the field spot and the color, and make sure there's no cuts or bruises, and you will be sure to pick out a good melon. By following these steps and just taking a few extra minutes to examine your watermelon at the grocery store, you will be sure to pick out a nice and juicy watermelon that everyone will enjoy.